Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device and its specifications. So without any further ado, let's just pop it open, and I grabbed the knife, but it looks like I won't need it. So we do have these... Okay, never mind, we have this shitty pull tabs that don't work. Maybe this one? Nope, this one is also garbage. Samsung, come on, is it that much to make them actually functionable? There we go. So I did need a knife after all. Now popping it open, we have the tablet right here. Okay. Just boot it up. Set it aside, and here we have a pen, and it's a very light pen though. Personally, would be nice if they just added some like pointless weight into it, just so it has a little bit more heft to it. It literally feels as light as a pencil, so not the biggest fan of the weight there, but this is just the weight. Anyway, and here we also have our relatively long looking cable. Damn. Okay. So this is a Type-C to Type-C, and on the other side we just have paperwork with SIM eject tool. Off you go to the ground. Now let's bring the tablet into view. So right here you can see the display, and we have a 12.4-inch display right here, and that is, there we go, second part tossed to the ground too. So that is a dynamic AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 plus. It boasts a resolution of 1752 by 2800, so that's pretty nice resolution. It puts it at 266 pixels per inch, so the display right here is nice and sharp. Now it also boasts a bit more mediocre 84.3% screen to body ratio, which honestly I think it's fine for a tablet, so yeah. Now if we flip it over to the back, we can see a dual camera setup in the same kind of design flair as the new folds and flips that came out. So personally, looks nice. But this little housing houses a 13 megapixel f2.0 aperture 26 millimeter wide lens and 8 megapixel f2.2 aperture ultra wide lens. So with those cameras, we can record videos at 4K up to 30 frames and 1080p up to 30 frames. What? Am I looking at a light version or something? No, this is a Plus. What the hell? I don't care, it's a tablet. Wow, that's pretty shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Hopefully this is wrong. Now, I am pulling this information from GSM Arena, but they are correct, I'm pretty sure. So that just salts the device so much. Anyway, at the front we have a 12 megapixel f2.4 aperture 120 degree ultra wide lens, and that can do basically the same thing as the two different cameras at the back. Great. So camera wise, pretty crap in terms of like quality. Even 1080p doesn't do 60, so that's a bit baffling. The processor is well capable of doing so much more than that, so I don't know what the hell is happening here. But if we move over to the internals, at least that's where the device picks up a bit, I would say. So starting off with the battery size, right here we have a 10,090 milliamp hour battery. Pretty good. It also supports one of the faster charging I have seen on Apple. On Apple, sorry. How could I confuse those two? On Samsung, with 45 watts of speed. Pretty good. Comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage up to 512 gigs of storage. So there are only 2 versions of it. All of those options using UFS storage, so it doesn't specify which one. And we apparently have dedicated spot for SD card. Okay, now I'm starting to believe that maybe the info is wrong. Have a tray. Holy crap, it is an SD card. Wow, look at that. Samsung actually can fit SD card spot on a thin device. Who would have thought? Just for your reference, for instance, Galaxy Notes and S lineups are either as thick or thicker than this. So their bullshit excuse of, oh, we don't have space is just bullshit excuse. Who would have thought? Anyway, now another thing in here that is actually a bit of a departure and might be a bit of a head scratcher is the processor. In here we have a Dimensity 9300 Plus. Now the reason I'm saying it's a head scratcher if you don't know much about processors is because the Dimensity was usually the kind of a crappier processor. The benefit of it was cheaper, so obviously that was pretty nice for other brands to utilize these as they were close enough to what Snapdragon would offer, but they were always behind and they were cheaper. This one, on the other hand side, is basically on par, if not better in certain cases. In battery life, apparently it is better compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the newest and best thing that Snapdragon has right now. So, processor-wise, apparently similar performance, about the same, in certain cases might be even better, but not by much. We're talking about like in benchmarks, couple points. But in battery life, it will be better. So, would you look at that? Dimensity is now playing the game correctly, it looks like. So yeah, pretty good processor in here. Though the price tag doesn't really reflect that this is a more affordable processor, as the device comes at about 1,000 euros. Just, a measly 1,000 euros. And I thought that, asking $700 to $800 for a PS5 Pro was egregious. This is basically the same thing. Now, the reason I consider this overly Samsung devices to be overpriced is they don't really offer all that much. I think, though this is speculation, most of the price that Samsung charges is for their skin of Android. There is work put in there, that's undeniable, and it's on all fronts pretty good. Even on foldable devices, they have like different inner workings for this, so it's more enjoyable, more usable. But if you skip that and you just look at the hardware, I don't think we should be paying $1,000 or euros for a Dimensity processor with, well, for instance, cameras that are subpar in here. The thing that actually kind of makes it up, at least in the quality department, is the dynamic AMOLED display right here with 120 Hz refresh rate and HDR10 plus. But this is really the only, I would say, apart from the performance of this, the only other benefit of this device. Everything else just kind of is as you would expect from a tablet. So I'm kind of on the fence with the Samsung tablets. If they were a bit cheaper, as these are, it's not going to be something that you're going to be carrying around with you in your pocket. They have more tailored use, I would say. So they are not as usable, but the price, is just a bit too much. If you want a big screen experience, for instance, putting it as a perspective, kind of where I'm coming from, I could just buy another Samsung phone, and for that price, for instance, buy it. I don't really care all that much about performance. I want it to be good, but I won't be going out of my way to spend extra $1,000 to basically have the top of the line performance that is possible right now. If I was probably going to be buying a iPad rather than Samsung. So with that in mind, I would probably be going with something like a phone even a secondary if I wanted to. Last year would be much more affordable from Samsung, as they are usually on a bit of a discount. And I can just buy a monitor as well and have that wherever I need to use this, and plug it in as a DeX kind of display through the phone and use it that way and spend less money. This is just a tablet. In the example that I gave you, you have a phone and a big screen device that you can utilize whenever you need. Though obviously you wouldn't be able to like hold it in your hand if you're using a monitor for such a display, so it is a bit of a, you know, bit of a trade-off, I would say. But that is something that I would prefer, just so I can spend a little bit less money. I wouldn't be caring that much about the newest best performance. So that's my approach. But all in all, the device obviously is pretty good. It would be better if it is on a discount, I would say. As $1,000 for this is a bit too much. Something like 800, maybe even 700. That would be obviously a great price that I probably at that point would, without a doubt, recommend. As all in all, Samsung has decent devices, so yeah, that's pretty good. But the price is just a tidbit too high for the offer right now. Now, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.